YouTube, what's good? We are here with another episode of Factually Opinionated. It's your boy DLee
and your boy BubbaJ,
and we are here. Now, this is the point in time in the NBA where free agency and signings and everything is really popping off. So what we're going to do is go through now, break down some of the more important signings, and we're going to tell you who was good to sign and who was bad to sign, all right? So I got it up on my phone right here. We're going to start with the Atlanta Hawks. Patty Mills, I think he's still on there. I know he done moved five times.
Oh, no, he in OKC now. He in OKC. He got traded about 3 times.
They done moved Patty Mills so much.
Yeah, he in OKC now.
And Murray got his money. He got a 4-year extension. Mm-hmm. We got the Celtics, the Porzingis trade, which we already talked about. And they got O'Shea Brissett, man, the best jump shot on 2K. Shout out. Yep. Shout out to Brissett, man. The Brooklyn Nets, Cam got 4 years. Mm-hmm. Dennis Smith got a 1-year deal, and Lonnie Walker got a 1-year deal. How you feel about Cam in Brooklyn?
Boy, I like it. You know, they got him on pretty, for today's market, it's pretty good. I think 4 years, 100. That's about 20. They're just throwing 20 out like it was 15. You know? So that's pretty good. I like that they took the chance on Dennis Smith Jr. He showed last year he can give them flashes like he did in the beginning of his career. Mm-hmm. You know, it's before calling him a bust and whatnot and bashing his name. But you know, I like him in Brooklyn. They got great energy up there. Mm-hmm. You know, high flyers, young. They fit the timeline, man. Right. So I hope Dennis Smith Jr. You know show what he got to show, and Cam Johnson continue to grow. I think he's 25, so
yep.
Brooklyn got a nice future on their hands.
Yeah. We're going to continue. The Charlotte Hornets, they re-signed Miles Bridges.
Hey. Nobody else will take him, boy.
Yeah. And LaMelo got, what is it, 200?
Yeah, I think about 260.
260? Melo got that bag. He going to have to show me something, man. That bag crazy. Chicago got Javon Carter. I love Javon Carter. That's my guy. Him and Caruso, you might not get past half court a couple of these games, man. Torrey Craig, shout out for SC, and Kobe White got a 3-year deal, man. So they really focusing on the backcourt, man. You know, we all know we don't know what Lonzo gonna have going on, so you got to have that insurance in case worst case scenario.
I like that defensive insurance too, along with Ayo DeSumo back there. You know,
yeah,
nice defensive.
Yep. The Cleveland Cavaliers, man, they got Ty Jerome, Damian Jones. They re-signed LeVert. They got Niang, and they got Max Strus, one of the undrafted free agents that Miami Heat had. I think it was, 4 years, 64, 63?
Yeah, 64.
How you feel about that for Max Strus, man?
That's a lot for it. That's a lot, man. But
what is Max Strus? Where is he? He's not 3-and-D.
Yeah, he. I don't call him a tweener, but for me, he hasn't really proved enough.
Right.
But I've always been a fan of Max Strus even before the playoffs. Even when Tyler Hero got hurt, I said, I don't think I need Max Strus. You know, I know he's going to give me 1 or 2 games. You know, he'll give you occasional 30, like Terrence Ross.
Right.
You know, but at 21, you know, give him 16 out. Okay. But, you know, you didn't really give him a chance to really shoot, to prove their value in Cleveland. They trying to contend.
Yeah.
So, along with Evan and Dono, you know, you got to try to make some shake. So
yeah, I like Strus, but I think he's more of a product of the Miami Heat coaching than he is, you know, just a naturally good player. Not saying he's going to be bad because he played good ball. He undrafted, and to, you know, be in a starting lineup for a championship team, you got to be something good. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Cleveland know what they're doing. They got it going. Let's keep going. Dallas, they got Seth, Dante Exum. Shout out Dante Exum. We rag on Dante, but he back in the NBA, man. I'm happy we got we got an Exum site. You know what I'm saying? He got a 1 year. They got Holmes in a trade. Kyrie is back. Dwight Powell back, and they got Grant Williams in a trade. I think that's an interesting fit. I don't know where exactly he gonna fit, but he does stretch the floor and give you some defensive switchability. So, you know, I think Grant Williams is a good fit. How you feel about Dallas and their moves, man?
It's a move in the right direction, you know. Surrounding Luka with defenders, you know, people who can switch. trying to replace that stupid trading Dorian Finney-Smith, even though he was perfect for your system, and you see how y'all failed miserably due to that trade. Yeah. So trying to make up the ground, the hole they put themselves in, they're making the right moves. I don't think it's quite enough to get them where they want to get them, depending on how Luka and Kyrie, they can only take them but so far.
Right.
They got great chemistry together on the offensive side of the ball, but defensively, man, there's two sides of the ball, man. So it's a move in the right direction, but you're gonna need a little bit more to get where they want to get.
Everything you said, I completely agree with, man. We got the Denver Nuggets. They got Justin Holiday, Reggie Jackson is back, and DeAndre Jordan back. But they lost a lot of people. They got a lot to replace. You're gonna hear a lot of Nuggets, ex-Nuggets in these free agency signings, man. The Pistons, Monte Morris in a trade, Joe Harris and Isaiah Stewart, man. That Isaiah Stewart signing is interesting. 4 years, $64 million. We talked about how crowded they are. They got him, Wiseman. Duran is going crazy in summer league right now, and then you also got Bagley. So you got 4 players that do the same thing, and to give Isaiah that type of money first, he got to play. So I kind of wonder what direction Detroit trying to go in, man.
They trying to win this year. They trying to win. They pushing for that playoff. They pushing for that 8 to 10. I see it right now, man. They ain't getting Monty Williams, just to show up and talk him up, just to be in the lottery again.
Right.
They making moves, winning moves. They trying to make it in the move of Monte Morris, Joe Harris. Those are veteran players right there. Right. They trying to get establishing the Detroit culture. Overall, Detroit is a winning team. They underrated in terms of the franchise, in my opinion. Concerning their winning. So they try to move in the right direction along with the move of Monty Williams. You see the direction towards winning, and they tired of mediocrity.
Yeah. I'm sure Detroit fans is too, because for a while Detroit was always, relevant, and they've been irrelevant since Rodney Stuckey days.
They went from going to five straight conference finals to Lord.
Yeah, top 5 in the draft every year. All right, then we go to Golden State, man. Corey Joe, Chris Paul, of course, Dario Saric. I think that's an underrated move. And Draymond, man, 4 years, $100 million, man. That's. I like Draymond. He's still a top 10 defender. 25 is crazy for me, but he wasn't gonna get it nowhere else. So I guess it's not bad for the Warriors culture, but he wasn't gonna get that nowhere else. You think somebody else gonna give him 25?
They gave Dylan Brooks.
Oh, I say that we. Speaking of, that's a beautiful segue. Beautiful segue.
They getting Dylan Brooks.
The Houston Rockets, man. Okay, Jeff Green. Okay, veteran. Aaron Holiday, solid. Jock Landale, what I'm saying? 4 years. They gave him a couple years. Van Fleet, man. Don't get me wrong, I love Van Fleet. 3 years, 130. You draft Amen in the first round, top 5 pick, and then you go and get Van Fleet making 40.
Oh.
So that means Amen coming out the bench. I don't like when starting point guards come off the bench because they never get into a flow. Amen, especially with as broke as his jump shot is, he needs to be on the floor constantly. And with Van Fleet, they're making 40. I don't see how that's a virtue. But I love Van Fleet as a player. You add him in with Udoka, they're going to establish something the Rockets haven't had in a while, which is coaching. But $40 million for 6'1", on a good day, point guard coming off his worst shooting season in a long time, probably ever, to be honest. That's kind of rough. And then to top it off, as he segued, Dylan Brooks. How you feel about Dylan Brooks?
I like Dylan Brooks as a player. I really do. I do like him as a player, despite his villain type of stance that he is on now. But $20 million, that's a lot. I know y'all was talking about him going to China, but hey, he got a bag now, boy. He got the bag now, but not worse than Fred, though. Lord Jesus. But I see what the Houston trying to do. They tied just like Detroit of being, they've been top 3 the last 3 years in the draft. So I see what direction they're trying to go in. The firing of Steven Silas, even though it wasn't his fault whatsoever. But, I see the direction they're trying to go in. They kind of stockpile because when you have Dylan Brooks, a veteran, Fred VanVleet, a veteran, you got Jeff Green, a veteran. You try to establish a little culture. Even Jock Landale, he kind of new, but a quality piece that's not too young.
Right.
So it's similar to what Portland has, kind of, because they got the old and the new. They trying to mesh it together. They trying to do that. So I think it's going to take a little time for it to mesh how it's supposed to. But I see the direction they're going in. They tired of being sorry. So I kind of see the direction. They kind of got a little reckless with the money in order for that pursuit now. But I see what direction they're going in.
Yeah. It's not so much the Dylan Brooks signing for me, because I think he fit what they need. It's the 4 years. Like, what? Like, that's cool, but then you got Cam Whitmore and these other young players that need to also get playing time. Where does Dylan Brooks fit in there? Because you ain't gonna have $20 million on the bench.
No.
So, but like you said, I also see the direction they're going in. They trying to get some veteran leadership. Udoka gonna need that to establish what he wants as a team. So Houston gonna be a better team than they was last year, which isn't gonna be hard to do because they was horrible last year. All right, let's move on, man. The Indiana Pacers, man. I love what they did, not only in the draft, but to go give Tyrese his money and then go get Bruce Brown, one of my top 10 favorite players right now in the league. There's nothing he can't do. You could put him 1 through 5. You can put him at 5. I don't care. That man can do everything. They kind of overpaid for him, but when you got a player that quality, man, you just give him the bag and just trust that he gonna do what he need to do. And then to go get Obi Toppin, man. How does Obi Toppin fit with this Pacer team, man?
I like good old Obadiah, man. I like him, man. Coming out the draft about 2-3 years ago. Of course, the positive y'all say y'all been a flyer. He got the athleticism to him, man.
Jump out the gym.
He can get up and run too, get up and transition. And with players like that, you know what you need? A great point guard.
Tyrese gonna have fun.
You got baby CP out there. Boy,
Tyrese gonna be throwing them things out
there, things all day.
Yeah, I love what the Pacers.
So that's gonna work seamlessly, bro. I like what they got going on up there.
And you throw in Walker. I've been watching Walker in the summer league, man. He look like he gonna be a good defender, man. So you add him, Miles Turner, Bruce Brown, man. The Pacers might sneak into that playoff, man.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, man. The Clippers, man. They got my boy Russ back. That man making $4 million a year, man. That's crazy. I love Russ, and I know he didn't have his share of bad moments. But to get an ex-MVP player still playing at a decent level for $4 million is crazy. But that shows the commitment that he has to winning. He just want to win, man. Mason Plumlee, quality. And Kenyon Martin Jr., man, who I think is going to play a bigger role than people realize. I think he might start this year, man. I think he might start. We hear the rumors with Paul George, but Paul George, Kawhi, Kenyon Martin Jr., man, that's a nice little thing you can have going right there. So I see the direction the Clippers moving there, man. The next big team we need to talk about, man, my Los Angeles Lakers, man. Them boys been doing a lot, man. They got Rui back, man. Jackson Hayes, Taurean Prince, Austin Reeves, Cam Reddish, D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent. This is all one free agency. Man, how you feel about what the Lakers did in free agency, man?
This past 2 years, man, it was hard to be a proud Laker fan. I mean, whew, boy, I tell you. I'm glad I stayed loyal to them because they did good for once, boy. Yeah. I tell you, I'm proud of them. I mean, they actually got things that fit. I mean, even though LeBron been showing you what fits for the last 19 years, but I'm glad you finally got it right. Probably because of the threat of him leaving after this year, when Bronny coming out next year. Yeah. But I like the moves they made. Gabe Vince, he a shooter. He can that secondary point guard role. He don't take up too much. Got Roy, which showed his potential in the playoffs, man. Mm-hmm. He showed out there. He probably the third most important player out there.
49% from 3-point.
Boy, I mean, wet like water. I'm trying to tell you. I like Jackson Hayes. One thing LeBron always loves. as you seen with the 2020 Lakers team, a pick and roll threat. Jackson Hayes, them Texas bigs now.
Them
That
Texas
pick and roll,
hey.
jump out the gym, throw it up there, he gonna catch.
He gonna get it, man.
Every time.
Every time.
You got Cam Reddish, a little flyer right there, cheap deal. Everybody talk about the potential he had once coming out of high school. Was he number one in that class?
Yeah, he was over RJ. He was over RJ and Zion.
Yes, so of course we see he been going all around trying to find his place. Similar to Dennis Smith Jr., man. I believe he gonna find some, because Bron loves to motivate the young fellas, man. He sure do, because he know the potential Cam got. LeBron, he's that major scout, boy. Yeah. He on all that. So, and I love the re-sign of Austin Reeves, DLee at a reasonable deal. They had to overpay. They got everybody at a great rate, man. I like what they did, but Rob Pelinka, boy, I tell you, I don't care what they say about you.
Yeah, shout out to Rob, man. He did good, man. Like you said, man, Rui, I really love the Rui deal. He showed that he has, like, maybe even star, not superstar, but he has star potential, man. Jackson Hayes, that lob threat. I wouldn't be surprised if they line him up at center beside AD, and then y'all driving to the paint just gonna be. Y'all just gonna deal with it. Taurean Prince, quality defender, quality 3-and-D guy. LeBron loves those. Austin Reeves, only at $14 million a year, man. And a lot of people were saying he could go up to the $100 millions. So for the Lakers to get him at that, I think where he at is good, because Austin still got more to prove, but he proved a lot already. So I love that. Cam, man, you ask a lot of the 2, 3, 4 year vets in the league who they hated guarding the most. Cam Reddish comes up, man. They talk about Cam Reddish like prime Kobe, like it was crazy. Oh, Cam Reddish did this. Like, I hear stories about Cam Reddish in high school. So the potential is there, man. I think the Lakers is the perfect team. He's under a player that got the same type of, that came from that same type of hype out of high school, and he could be around like real veterans, man. Taurean Prince, LeBron, AD, like they gonna be around some real vets to mold him. D'Angelo, I was questionable because I didn't want D'Lo back, but the point guard market was horrible this year. Like, it was Van Fleet, D'Angelo, and then you know what I'm saying. So to get him on a 2 year, 37, I believe, year deal, man, with a player option, I think that was great. Because in the regular season, D'Lo was shooting almost 40% from three, so you gotta use that. And I love Gabe Vincent, man. Gabe, I wouldn't be surprised Gabe start this year. Gabe gonna shoot that rock and he gonna defend. Gabe is aggravating. Okay, Gabe, I don't even know if he a good defender. I just know he aggravating on defense. And sometimes that can translate into being a good defender, like Patrick Beverly. So
he got paid too.
He got paid too. So like I said, all these good deals, man. The Lakers threw themselves right back in the championship contention for another year, man. But let's continue on, man. Another interesting team, man. The Memphis Grizzlies, man. Desmond Bane got the bag. D Rose come in. Marcus Smart comes in. Isaiah Todd, and they go get Josh Christopher in a trade, man. So D Rose and the Ja Morant type deal, man. How you feel about those two, man?
Hey, they try to move in the right direction, D Rose, of course, from Chicago, he know all about that trouble and whatnot, he know about all that,
And he played in Memphis.
He played in Memphis, well, but D Rose managed to stay out of trouble. Of course, we know the story about his knees and ankles and whatnot. But D Rose, he can help Ja a lot, if he listen, you know what I'm saying. Help in the locker room. D Rose don't cause no trouble. He hardly say anything. But we don't hear,
he on the team sometimes.
We don't hear nothing from no D Rose. Boy, hey, while he was a star.
Yeah.
Boy, that man even danced during the All-Star game. So it's a great move, along with the move of Marcus Smart in that trade too. That step a little veteran leadership as they needed, and also they added a little bit more youth than Josh Christopher. And in the draft of Gregory Jackson. So I like they trying to bring a little veteran, have some grown folks at the party, to get things straight. So I like that.
Yeah, man. I love Josh Christopher, one of my guys, man. So to see him go to a Memphis team who needs some, like, electricity off the bench, man. To see him go there and finally get to reach maybe his potential, man, because I always thought he could be an excellent sixth man in this league, man. He give me J.R. Smith vibes all day, every day, man. So, yeah, I like what Memphis is doing, man. Miami, they kind of quiet, man. They got Thomas Bryant, which is good. Re-signed Kevin Love and got Josh Richardson. So, But we all know what Miami after. They in the Damian Lillard sweepstakes, man. And they doing everything in their power to get that move, man. So we might do a whole separate video on them if they get Dame, man. But we move on to Milwaukee, man. Malik Beasley, Jay Crowder, AJ Green, Brook come back. He bring Robin with him, and Chris Middleton get 3 years, $103 million, man. Do the Bucks have enough? Was this enough to get them back to where they want to be in the championship game?
The only thing that stopped them was health anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Milwaukee already proved themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've been in contention all this time. We know that this formula works.
Mm-hmm.
Just adding Malik Beasley, another shooter,
Yep.
Jay Crowder, 3-and-D.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just adding to the pieces they already got. You know, of course, teams that contend like that, of course, they don't usually keep the exact same pieces, but there's the same kind of pieces.
Right.
They just rotate a little
The
bit.
concept. That's
Yeah,
all it
same
is.
concept. Giannis, he ain't going nowhere.
No.
Top 2 player. I mean, you can't.
MVP.
Yep. Plus he cut his hair, so he
cut his hair. He going for the MVP,
32-15, 32 and 13 and 5. That's all I
So
got.
crazy, man.
But you know, I ain't worried about the Bucks. You know, there's the 1 seed for a reason. They've been the 1 seed. They've been top 3 over these last 5 years for a reason. They got the formula. It's just the health and stuff got to execute. Well, they got Nick Nurse anyway, so
Yeah, that's the question. You give Nick Nurse, who one of my favorite coaches, you give him a piece like Giannis. Oh Lord, ain't no telling what he gonna come up with, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, Minnesota, man, got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Troy Brown, Shake Middleton, and Anthony Edwards got the 5-year bag, man. I can't wait to see Ant this year, man. I think Ant gonna have like one of those. Should he be MVP type seasons? Like we gonna look at him like, is he top 3 shooting guard? Like he gonna go crazy this year, man. New Orleans, Herb Jones got a 4-year deal. EJ Liddell, Cody Zeller. The Knicks, man, the one move they made, man, Dante DiVincenzo, 4 years, $50 million. He reunites with his Villanova boys, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, man. You think DiVincenzo makes a difference for the New York Knicks?
a very small one, but he makes a difference. You know, he defends. he yeah, he defends. I mean, he can shoot a little bit. You know, but is he worth $11? Would I would have paid him $450? No, I wouldn't have. But I mean, you know, there's chemistry there. There's a little love there, but. Was he worth that? No. I mean, even during his stint with the Warriors, he didn't have a very, very big role.
He didn't do that but carry like the rest of the boys.
That's all, but you know. But he is a positive defender as he showed in the Warriors and the Sacramento Kings in his early days. So it's a positive move. Was it worth all that money? No. But, you know, it's a positive move, you know. Kind of closer to lateral movement.
Right.
I don't hate the move.
Okay. Oklahoma City, man. Bertans in a trade with the Mavs. They get Vic Oladipo, Jack White. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, but this is the part that gets me. Rudy Gay, Usman Garba, and Ty Washington. I think this is an underrated trade because this hits 3 things that OKC needs. First of all, perimeter defending. Giddey and SGA are good defenders, but we all know Lou Dort, that's his main job. After that, they don't really have another perimeter defender. You know, Carson Wallace, he gonna be one, but, you know, he ain't played yet. To go at a Garber who look like he might have a 3-point shot, to go get a 3-and-D guy like that, Rudy Gay for the experience that they don't have, because OKC, I don't think they got nobody over 25 on the team. Mm-hmm. And then they used one of our cheat codes, man. They went and got another Kentucky guard. You get Ty, Carson, and SGA.
How you get 3 of them, man?
That's cheating.
How you get 3? It's 2 was too much already,
look,
but
man,
3?
They got 3 on. And Ty gonna come in and play that backup point guard role, man. So him and Carson coming off the bench, OKC just hitting everything right. Then you get Oladipo, who's played a lot of basketball, missed a lot, but played a lot of basketball and been in the league for a while, man. You get his experience off the bench, the way he ain't got to carry the workload so much. And then Bertans a stretch, which is something OKC really don't have. I mean, you got Chet, but you put Bertans in, SGA get in the middle. Like, OKC, man, look, man, I would not be surprised if OKC a top 5 team in the West next year. I didn't think I'd be saying that. But they might be a top 5 team in the West with all these moves they making, man. I think that's a very, very underrated move and ain't do nothing but give up a couple seconds anyway. They got so many picks for the next 5 years. It don't make no sense. Orlando, they been quiet. They got Ingles. I do like Ingles. And Wagner. Wagner comes back for 2 years. Philly, man. They got Pat Bear for a 1 year deal. They get Mo Bamba to back up Joel Embiid. That's interesting. Montrezl Harrell for a year. And Paul Reed. They matched Paul Reed for that 3-year offer sheet that Jazz gave him. That they really didn't want him. But yeah, how you feel about the 76ers, man, focusing so heavy on I guess the backup center role?
Lateral movement once again. Just lateral movement. I mean, Patrick Beverly, aggravating point guard,
James Harden replacement.
Yeah. I don't believe their offseason is nowhere near over. We'll wait till the beginning of the season when James Harden plays terrible and think they bad at basketball and force him to get traded like he usually does. So, it's lateral movement. It's not over yet. We don't see the full picture yet. The B-ball Paul move, Paul Reed, that was finessistry, but that was just a finesse. But I guess they needed bodies anyway, and he showed some positivity playing that backup role. So I get why they brought him back, because if you lost him, you weren't getting nothing better.
Yeah, right.
So I understand that move, even though they finessed him, but pretty good.
All right, Phoenix Suns, man, we're going to talk about them, man. They signed their bench.
The whole bench.
We got Banks Diop on a 2-year deal, Drew Eubanks, Eric Gordon, Damian Lee, Metu from the Kings, Okage, and Watanabe. Some of these names I know I ain't said right. But how you feel about what the Suns did with their bench, man?
They did good. I like what they did with it. They got the nice tools. They got 3-and-D. They got folks who can defend. You got big men who are halfway serviceable. Drew Eubanks. He had an underrated player, by the way. He had a great year last year. I believe he helps out. Kader Bates-Diop, very underrated player as well.
That's
great
my boy,
defense.
Ohio State.
Great defense. Shimizu Metu, he had a good year too in Sacramento. Yuta, he was very positive in the Nets. KD love him. I mean, he love him to death. Shooter, boy. Yuta, you had to calm him down. In order to play. He was so excited about the game, man. So with what they had to work with, they did pretty good, man. I like what they did.
I noticed though.
What you notice?
They ain't signed no point guard.
Nope. I
don't think they have a true point on their team anywhere.
They
like
just,
Gordon is a 2, Damian Lee is a 2.
Yeah.
Like Okogie is a 2. Like I'm like, yo, y'all running no point guards this year? Like
I guess they're just going with straight movement this year. I guess.
Hey, we gonna see how that work, man.
Straight movement.
The Trailblazers, man. We know what they trying to do or have to do, but they got Thibault on a 3-year deal, and they signed Jeremy Grant to the deal that made Damian want to get traded. That 5-year 160. Dame said, "Yeah, I got to go. Y'all give it Jeremy 160. I got to go." That was the writing on the wall right there, man. The Kings, man, they go get Chris Duarte. They re-sign Alex Lynn, Trey Lyles. They give Sabonis the multi-year extension. And Sasha, I'm not even gonna try to say his name. He's
Sasha V,
He's Sasha V. I've seen him. Great overseas player. We'll see how he translates over here, man. The Spurs, man, they go get Reggie Bullock, some veteran. They get Julian Champagnie, however you say his name. Summer League MVP so far. I don't know. He's one of the best players in Summer League. They bring Trey Jones back. They bring my boy Sandro Muscovele back. And then they go get C.D. Osman, man. So the Spurs, they just pushing in the right direction. That's all they doing. They just pushing the right direction till they go find them another star or develop a star beside Wemby, man. Toronto, man, they go get Jalen McDaniels. I think that's an underrated move. Jakob gets 4 years. And then Dennis Schroeder comes to play, I guess, starting point guard, man. So, man, the Raptors do what they do, man. They signed 6'8" to 6'10" swings.
Every time.
They just continue what they do, man. So they have 6 players now that's 6'8" to 6'10" that can defend. So we'll see how that go. Utah, we already know what they did. They gave Clarkson 3 years. John Collins joined. We talked about that on another video, so we ain't got to touch on them. And then lastly, man, we go through with the Washington Wizards, man. They go get Gallinari, Muscala, Tyus Jones, Kyle Kuzma get 4 years. They go get Jordan Poole, Patrick Baldwin, Ryan Rollins, and they get Shamet, man. So we already know the Wizards are rebuilding. They give some players that are less known. They might get some chance, man. Patrick Baldwin, finally get to see what he can do, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, we done went through the whole NBA, man. Who would you say is the best signing, or what team had the best offseason?
I love Indiana, man. I like what they did. Of course, I love the Lakers too. They move in the right direction. You know, they finally noticing the timeline and actually did something right about it for once. So I like the teams that they move. You see the direction they moving in. You know, they're not. You know, they ain't going to mediocrity. You know,
right?
But they moving in the right direction. So I just like it makes the season very interesting because they, you know, only but so much could go in there because 60% of the teams got a chance to make the playoffs anyway.
Right.
So I like the move they tried to make teams that have been terrible. You know, they move in the right direction, such as the Houston Rockets and the Indiana Pacers and the Lakers trying to contend. You know, knowing the potential they had, as we see in 2020 and this past season, only due to health, no reason we ain't talking about them got a piece of jewelry.
Right.
So I like them teams, man.
Yeah, I'm no bias. I think the Lakers had the best offseason, man. They didn't overpay for nobody. They got 5-6 quality players that fit what their team need and re-signed some young players that actually showed them something, man. So no bias, but I think the Lakers had the best offseason so far, man. So what team would you say is down right now, man? Had a bad offseason?
Whew, boy, I tell you, one team I hate to say it really, but I don't really like what the I like what the Magic did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they trying to move in the right direction, but I believe, and what the Spurs did. I don't like what the Spurs did. I really don't, because they could have done more.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're just trying to develop Wemby and whatnot. I know Wemby is basically the center of attention, but you could have got more. Establish more veteran leadership here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I like having more of a winning culture, even though I understand what they did because the West is starting to come back a little bit. You know, it's very competitive there, and a lot of teams are already established. But I just want to see more veteran presence, even though, you know, Wemby already got Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and Manu and Tony. You know, the whole Spurs history behind them. So I just wish they did more. I was expecting more win now moves, a few, you know, just because winning, it helps development. It really does.
Always.
And yeah, you can losing only makes you but so good.
Right.
So I just wish the Spurs did that. You know, they just fell below my expectations in that regard.
It's easy for me. Portland lost. Your star player for the last 10 years announced that he wants to trade. That he didn't. I don't even. Dame, to this day, I still don't think Dame want to be traded. Mm-hmm. But you go and give Jeremy Grant 160, and then you go and don't make any other moves, and then with a top 3 pick, instead of trading him, maybe going to go get somebody, maybe going and getting a Siakam, maybe go getting a Paul George, doing something to show that you want to go. You go and draft another point guard. Like, come on, man. Like, if you don't want me there, just say that. You know, that's basically what Dave. Oh, you don't want me here? Y'all should just say that, you know. So Portland the biggest losers to me because right now they having problem finding a trade partner because the Heat, the only thing they have to offer is guards. They good at guard.
Yep.
You know, so they need forwards and centers. Too many forwards and centers don't get moved because they hard to come by. You know what I'm saying?
Quality ones.
Yeah, and not too many teams got a truckload of picks, and the ones that do got a truckload of picks, like the OKC Thunder, they don't need Dame. You know what I'm saying? So it's a product of Dame waiting too long and Portland just not caring, man. So yeah, man, that's the free agency for the 2023 so far, man. If anything else happened, like Dame getting traded, Paul George, Siakam, any of these players get traded, best believe we gonna be here to cover it, man. We almost at 200 views already. Like, I love it, man. We appreciate the support, man. Please like, subscribe, send it to everybody you know, and we will be back.